Are you ready to have a cruise vacation that's fun while easy on the wallet? Then join me and take a tour of Carnival Radiance to see if she's the right ship for your next vacation. Hi, I'm Tiffany from Destination for Vacation. Thanks for joining me. Carnival Radiance made her sailing debut in 2000, just under a different name, Carnival Victory. At the time, she was one of the largest cruise ships sailing the open seas with a total capacity of 4,400 people. In 2021, after 2 decades of sailing, the ship underwent a $200 million makeover and was then renamed Carnival Radiance. While she had originally been considered one of the largest ships at the time when she first started sailing, that's no longer the case thanks to today's mega ships carrying 3 times the amount of passengers. Now, Carnival Radiance is considered a mid-size ship, with regular sailings offered from Long Beach, California to either Mexico or Hawaii. Carnival Radiance is one of 3 ships in the Sunshine class, which includes sister ships Carnival Sunshine and Carnival Sunrise. With a capacity of about 3,000 guests, Radiance is well suited for families, offering a variety of activities and food choices. For this video, we'll start where you board the ship and work our way up, deck by deck. But first, have you sailed with Carnival before? What's your favorite ship? I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a comment below and let me know. Sailing on Carnival Radiance was my first experience with Carnival Cruise Lines, and I'll be looking to book a future cruise with the line for another ship review. Thanks in advance for your suggestions. Do ensure that you arrive at the correct port for your sailing. There are actually 2 different ports labeled Los Angeles by the cruise lines, neither of which are actually physically located in Los Angeles. The first, about 25 miles away from LA, is Long Beach, which is where all Carnival cruise ships sail from. The other port, which pretty much every other cruise line uses, is nearby in San Pedro. So if you're taking an Uber or taxi to get to the ship, make sure the driver understands that you want the Long Beach port. If there's any doubt, just say you want to be dropped off at the cruise ship terminal that's right next to the Queen Mary. Yeah, how cool is this? The original Cunard Queen Mary ocean liner, which has been permanently moored in Long Beach since 1967 and is now a hotel. So, if you're looking for an interesting and historic place to spend the night before your cruise, you might want to look into this beauty, as she's just steps away from Carnival's cruise terminal. And speaking of Carnival's cruise terminal, this one has a bit of a history to it. Built in 1983 as the largest freestanding aluminum geodesic dome in the world, that was a lot. Carnival's cruise terminal was originally built to house Howard Hughes' Spruce Goose, a humongous flying boat made almost entirely out of birchwood. It was the largest aircraft ever built, and it flew just one time for a grand total of 30 seconds in 1947. Once the Spruce Goose was sold and moved to an aviation museum in 1993, the 12-story dome was converted into the world's largest soundstage and used as a filming location for the Batcave and Wayne Manor sets in the Warner Brothers films Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. In fact, it wasn't unusual for actors to stay at the Queen Mary Hotel as they filmed. Carnival Cruise Lines began using a portion of the dome in 2003, but eventually took over the entire space in 2016. But as you walk around, you'll still see little nods here and there to its original occupant. Once you check in, it's a quick walk to board the ship. Decks 1 and 2 are reserved for passenger cabins. You'll enter the ship through the Radiance lobby on Deck 3, an atrium area with open views to Decks 4 and 5 above. Here, you can relax at the bar and do a little people watching as the glass elevators zip up and down to make sure that guests get to where they need to go. In the evenings, this is a popular spot to enjoy a cocktail while listening and dancing to live music. Deck 3 is also where you'll find guest services, where you can go if you have questions about your onboard account or are experiencing any issues on board the ship. Across the lobby is Carnival Adventures, where you can purchase last-minute shore excursions and get information about the ports of call. Right next door, you'll find Dream Studio, where you can book a private onboard photo shoot as well as arrange to capture some memories in the ship's various ports of call. Continue walking past the bar towards the aft or rear of the ship, and you'll reach the first of the ship's 2 main dining rooms, the Sunrise Restaurant, which spans decks 3 and 4. This dining room is used for passengers who prefer a consistent, preset dining time with the same table assignment each evening. The advantages to an option like this is you'll have the same waiter over the course of the entire sailing, which many cruisers like. Dine with the same passengers each night, and you know exactly when your table will be ready. There are 2 set times to eat in this restaurant, an early seating at 5:30 and a late seating at 7:45. You'll also go here if you've purchased the dining option Chef's Table, which features a multi-course meal and cocktails hosted by the ship's master executive chef, and includes a tour of the galley, which is ship speak for kitchen. The other complimentary main dining room, Sunset Restaurant, is also located on decks 3 and 4, just further aft. But unfortunately, Deck 3 does not provide a direct route there from mid-ship because the ship's galley separates both restaurants. So if your cabin is located towards the bow or forward part of the ship, or even if it's midship and you're planning on eating at the Sunset Restaurant, you'll need to take the stairs or the elevator to either Deck 2 or Deck 4, walk towards the aft of the ship, and then proceed to use the aft elevators or stairway to reach the Sunset Restaurant. This is a spacious venue, which is open for brunch and tea time on sea days, and it's used as the ship's your time dining option for dinner. With this popular option, guests are seated on a first-come, first-served basis without having to stand in line for a table. Instead, while you're in your cabin or walking around the ship, you simply go to the Carnival Hub app and select Food and Dining. From there, you can select Anytime Dining and indicate how many people are in your party. The app will then notify you when you should start walking towards the restaurant. Guests are encouraged to wait until they receive this notification, as there really isn't a lot of room to stand and wait nearby, nor is there any seating. In our case, it usually took less than 15 minutes after we had requested a table to be notified that we should make our way down to the restaurant. Then you'll receive notification when your table is actually ready. Simply show this to the front desk and you'll be immediately seated. With this option, you can't request a particular waiter nor specific table in the restaurant, but you can choose between sitting on Deck 3 or Deck 4. I preferred Deck 4 for dinner because it felt a little more open and had a great view to the deck below. But Deck 3 is where their, how should I put this? Evening performances are held. It is the fun ship after all, right? So in the Sunset Restaurant, you get dinner and a show. On day 1, it's all about building excitement for the great times you're about to have on this cruise. On the last day, it's all about celebrating memories of the fun experiences you had while recognizing the service of the restaurant's dedicated staff. It's certainly lively and unique. We are living in the age of technology, so diners aren't offered an actual menu unless you request one. Instead, there's a QR code at your table to scan with your phone in order to view the menu. The menu is also posted on the Carnival Hub app, so you can preview it at any time earlier in the day before even making your way to the restaurant. Meals are served in 3 courses: appetizers, which also include soups and salads, entrees, and desserts. For the most part, you can order more than one from each category at no additional charge. But in accordance with the sign of the times for the cruise ship industry, even though this is a complimentary dining venue, there will be some items offered at an additional charge. These include items like sushi, lobster, and steaks. Also, if you choose to try more than 2 of the complimentary entrees, a $5 surcharge will be added for each additional one. Instead of placing individual bread baskets on each table, a waiter will come by with a large basket full of warm rolls and plate one for you. You can always ask for more than one. Personally, I liked this concept as it minimizes waste, and anytime we wanted an extra roll, we simply requested it. I don't really want to spend 2.5 hours at dinner, but I do enjoy table service over eating at the buffet at night. Compared to other lines, our main dining room service was fairly quick and efficient without leaving us feeling rushed, which I appreciated. Once we finished with each course, our next course was served. The few times there was a bit of a longer wait in between were during the evening performances, but even then, it wasn't an uncomfortably long wait. I was surprised at how much food I enjoyed in the main dining room, given what I paid for my fare. Food was presented hot and plated attractively. If there was something I didn't like, it wasn't because of the preparation, it was more due to my own personal tastes. While the dishes weren't by any means complex in terms of ingredients, I liked mostly everything I had there. But do keep your expectations reasonable. The dishes are going to reflect how much you paid for your cruise compared to other cruise lines. I can go to Sizzler and get a really tasty steak for less than $20, but it's not going to be the same quality and experience than if I go to a 5-star Chicago steakhouse and order a steak there. Doesn't mean I like the Sizzler steak any less, it's still tasty. It's just a different experience, and it reflects the price I paid. If you're a Baked Alaska fan, be sure to dine at Sunset Restaurant on the last night, where it's a big feature in the send-off celebration. All in all, I was pleasantly surprised about how consistently enjoyable my Sunset Restaurant food was. On sea days, brunch is offered in the Sunset Restaurant Deck 3. Coffee is served piping hot, or you might elect to pay a $6 upcharge and order one of 5 different kinds of pressed juices. My cruise companion ordered steak and eggs with the special request that her scrambled eggs be well done, and they were made to order just as she had requested. I chose Eggs Benedict. I had also ordered hash browns, which were kind of similar in style to what you might find at a fast food restaurant, but they were crisp on the outside and tender inside. I ordered the hash browns because I hadn't realized that the eggs came with a side of ranchero-style potatoes, which, I gotta say, were some of the best breakfast potatoes I've ever had. Seriously addictive. All of our dishes were served nice and hot, which seems to be kind of a rarity these days in complimentary dining rooms. And my poached eggs were perfectly cooked. It was here that I had my first taste of the ship's coffee. It was some of the best coffee I've ever had on a cruise. Normally, I purchase a specialty dining coffee package because I'm not usually a fan of the free coffee that's offered on a cruise ship. I'm also known to like a latte or two each day when I'm on vacation. But here, I didn't feel the need whatsoever to purchase any specialty coffee drinks. There were a few times over the course of our cruise where the coffee was brewed a little differently or perhaps a different brand was used. But overall, I was very impressed with the quality of coffee served in the main dining room as well as on the buffet. It was also a treat to meet Fashion, a very high-styled, well-mannered service dog joining our cruise. On sea days, tea time is also offered in the Sunset Restaurant on Deck 4 at no additional charge. Here you'll have great views of the ship's wake, where we were able to see whales off in the distance. While the selection of teas is limited to just 2 kinds, Lipton or Bigelow green tea, you can choose to upgrade to something a little more exotic at a cost of about $4 per tea bag. Waiters walk around with trays of small savories to get you started. For our cruise, it was the traditional cucumber sandwiches and smoked salmon canapes, which we happily devoured. Then, on to the sweets, with a selection of cakes, crumbles, macaroons, and, of course, mini scones. Tea time is offered between 3 and 4, but I would highly recommend that you get there just a few minutes before 3 o'clock, only because they tended to run out of some of the more popular cakes. So those who were seated later on never really got to try some of them. Upon exiting Deck 4's Sunset Restaurant, you'll reach the Limelight Lounge. During the day, this area is used for art auctions. It's also where you'll go for the Build-A-Bear Workshop, a unique onboard activity offered at an additional cost that allows kids to make stuffed animals with customized clothing and accessories. At night, it's not uncommon to hear peals of laughter coming from the lounge because this is where you'll find the Punchliner Comedy Club. With shows ranging from the mild to the raunchy, make sure to check the ship's daily newsletter, Fun Times, so you attend the show that best suits your sense of humor. After the show, you might want to take a quick stroll and get some fresh air on the deck. This area is also very busy on boarding day, as many passengers will report to Deck 4 for their mandated muster drill. After that, it might be time for a little late-night dinner at Fahrenheit 555, the first of the ship's 3 specialty dining options, which are all offered at an additional charge. Here, you can dine on dishes ranging from fresh, smoked oysters to crab risotto to an 18-ounce prime ribeye. A selection of fish, chicken, and lamb is also on the menu. And since you're already giving your Lipitor a workout, why not cap off your dinner with a bacon caramel donut or one of the other decadent treats served just steps away at the Java Blue Café? From specialty cupcakes to rich and creamy cheesecakes, you can find pretty much anything to satisfy your sweet tooth here, along with a selection of specialty coffee drinks, all offered at an additional charge. As you savor your coffee and try to make your way back down from that intense sugar rush, stroll around this open atrium area, and you'll see a wall of photos at the Pixels Gallery. Here, you can view each of the pictures the ship's photographers took of you at various points on the cruise and decide which ones to purchase. Continue walking forward and you'll soon reach the Liquid Lounge, the ship's main theater that spans 2 decks. From bingo and trivia to comedy and variety shows, you'll find a variety of entertainment options held here throughout the day. After the show's over, exit the Liquid Lounge on Deck 5, the promenade deck, because it's time to do a little shopping. The fun shops are indeed very fun to go in because you're sure to find something that will catch your eye and probably lighten your wallet. The merchandise at Cherry on Top offers a sweet selection that's sure to give you a sugar rush like no other. Just next door, you'll find Carnival Adventures, a great stop for purchasing those items you may have forgotten to pack for your trip to the beach. Tucked into the corner just next to that is the Warehouse Arcade, where kids and those who are young at heart can engage in a little high-stakes competition or simply try to rack up the tickets for some coveted prizes. What's a cruise ship without a Neffy jewelry and watch store? And of course, there's plenty of cruise wear and handbags to choose from. Carnival Cruise Lines has been a longtime supporter of U.S. military service members and veterans. The Heroes Tribute Bar and Lounge on Deck 5 honors their brave service. It's a great place to grab a drink, connect with fellow service members, and just sit back and enjoy the game. But some passengers don't realize that it's open to everyone. So come on in, grab a drink, and raise a glass to those who made great personal sacrifices to defend our freedom. If you're feeling kind of lucky, well, you're in luck, because the ship's casino is only a few steps away. Offering Vegas-style table games like blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, as well as a variety of highly addictive slots, you'll find plenty of ways to gamble away your kids' college fund. This area of the ship also offers a number of places to grab a cocktail. Those wanting to stay close to the action can grab a drink at the casino bar, or head aft towards the stern of the ship and pass through Bonsai Sushi, the second of the ship's specialty dining restaurants that specializes in hand-rolled sushi and tasty sashimi. Just beyond that is Red Frog Pub, a lively Caribbean-themed venue that hosts the ship's trivia contests, karaoke, and live music. Just next door is the Piano Bar, an intimate spot to enjoy some quiet tunes or raucous sing-alongs. And across from that, the Alchemy Bar, offering a comfortable place to gather and enjoy a unique drink. Decks 6, 7, and 8 are reserved for passenger cabins. For this cruise, we booked a balcony cabin on the 7th deck, cabin 7401. The hallway's decor was bright and cheerful, giving off a bit of a beachy vibe. Inside, there were 3 closets next to the entry, offering ample storage. The first closet contained shelving, a small safe, as well as our life jackets. Instead of punching in a code for the safe, you have to slide a credit card or your driver's license to lock and then unlock it. I found this to be a bit odd because when most people lock up their belongings, they don't want to leave one credit card or a driver's license unsecured. So personally, I would have preferred a safe with a keypad. And our room's safe stopped working after the first time we used it. It probably just needed a battery change. The middle closet offered hanging space for your clothes, a full-length mirror, and there was plenty of room left over to store a large suitcase. The last closet offered additional hanging space for clothing, 2 shelves, and an unstocked mini fridge. When walking around the check-in area on embarkation day, you'll see something a little different than you typically see when traveling with other cruise lines. Boxes of different kinds of soda on many passengers' suitcases. That's because, at least as of the date of this recording, Carnival allows each guest to bring up to 12 unopened cans or cartons of non-alcoholic beverages, as well as 1 bottle of wine or champagne, as long as they're part of your carry-on luggage on embarkation day. For safety and environmental reasons, glass and plastic bottles are not allowed. So that mini fridge will really come in handy. Next to the closet was the vanity area, which offered 2 open shelves, 6 drawers, a cabinet with a shelf, and a seating area. This is also where the hairdryer is stored. Our room only had 2 electrical outlets, 120 volt, which were both located at the vanity area. 2 large bottles of water, available for $4.75 each, were placed nearby. The room had a small, flat-screen TV on a swivel. Channel and movie selection was a bit limited, but I don't watch TV in my stateroom, so this wasn't an issue for me. On day 1, a humorous safety announcement was playing as we walked into our stateroom, which also introduced us to the line's fun ambassador, Shaq O'Neal. His mother, Lucille, is the official godmother of Carnival Radiance. For this cruise, I was rooming with a dear family friend, so we requested twin beds, which were separated by a small nightstand, offering additional storage space. There was a reading light for each bed, as well as convenient switches to turn on or off the cabin's lights. And the bed itself? I absolutely loved it. Best mattress and pillows I've ever had on a cruise, and believe it or not, that includes Princess. This was a total shock because we paid very little for our balcony cabin compared to other cruises I've been on. It is a softer mattress, which is right up my alley. The sheets were smooth and the duvet was light, yet it kept me perfectly warm. I actually looked forward to going to bed each night. Our cabin also had a sofa that could be converted into a bed for a third passenger, along with a coffee table. Instead of a sliding glass door to the balcony, our cabin had a large picture window and a glass door that swung out. The balcony was spacious enough with 2 comfortable chairs and a small table. Our cabin's bathroom had a cheery blue and yellow color scheme. I liked how it had a double towel bar and then an additional towel bar below it. There was also one more small bar on the vanity itself, the perfect size for hanging up wet washcloths. Laminate surfaces were used throughout the bathroom. There were 2 glass shelves on either side of the sink, as well as 2 small storage areas under the sink's countertop, offering plenty of storage for toiletries. The shower itself was small but serviceable with an adjustable shower head, but the temperature control knob in the shower was not the easiest to use. It was hard to grasp the knob firmly enough to move it around. A generic brand shampoo and shower gel were offered in large dispensers, and there was a rack to store your own soap and shampoo supplies. I was not a fan of the shower curtain. While it was clean and easy to slide around, I could never quite position it to where water wouldn't escape. Our room's temperature control seemed to work fine. Note that the air conditioner automatically turns off when the balcony door is open. Overall, I found our stateroom to be very comfortable and quiet. Even though the balcony cabins on either side of ours were both occupied, I never heard any noise from their occupants through our walls. As an aft cabin, it was very convenient to Deck 9's Lido marketplace, the ship's buffet. This is probably one of the most popular spots on board the ship because it offers a little something that should appeal to nearly everyone. Getting around during high traffic times takes a little finesse, but we were always able to find a table. At lunch, don't miss the chocolate extravaganza, which was offered on the last sea day of our cruise. With brownies, cookies, cakes, and even a chocolate fountain, this event truly lives up to its name. Arrive early to avoid the long lines. And if you're not in the mood to go to the main dining room for dinner, you'll typically find many of the same dishes being served at the Lido buffet, but of course, you'll have to serve yourself. The buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but there are also plenty of other complimentary dining options available nearby if nothing really catches your eye. The Deli is open for lunch and dinner and serves a variety of made-to-order cold and hot sandwiches, as well as hot dogs. Blue Iguana, which is open for breakfast and lunch, serves customized burritos and tacos, as well as huevos rancheros and a few other south-of-the-border snacks. I really enjoyed my breakfast burrito there. Guy's Burger Joint is open every day from noon to 6 and serves a great burger with a caramelized crust and gooey cheese. And the fries aren't bad either. Located aft, you'll find 2 more complimentary options. Big Chicken, which offers hand-breaded chicken strips as well as crispy chicken sandwiches. And Pizzeria del Capitano, offering a selection of 5 different kinds of hand-tossed pizzas. You can also visit the Seafood Shack for fried clams, fish and chips, as well as a small selection of fresh fish and shellfish that's sold by the pound and prepared to order. Deck 9 also hosts the ship's 2 small pools. One is located midship and the other, along with 2 jacuzzis, is located aft. The midship pool is where Day 1's sail away party is located, as well as other events throughout the cruise. This area offers 2 bars, a place where you can check out pool towels, flotation devices for the little ones, as well as shaded seating options. You might even spot some special lifeguards stationed around this pool. The aft pool offers 2 jacuzzis to warm up in and an additional bar area. But do make sure to get there early because on some days, you might arrive only to find that all the loungers have been snapped up. climb the nearby set of stairs up to Deck 10, the Panorama Deck, which offers sweeping views of the ocean. Here you'll find yet another complimentary dining option, Guy's Pig and Anchor Barbecue Smokehouse, which serves favorite lunchtime Southern barbecue dishes. A few steps away is the ship's final specialty dining option, Cucina del Capitano, which is open for dinner. But you're welcome to sit in this area throughout the day. In the morning, simply climb the stairs from the Lido buffet with your plate of food, and you'll find a much quieter spot to enjoy your breakfast while you look out its expansive windows. At lunchtime, this area becomes the ship's pasta bar, a sit-down area where you can enjoy a Caesar salad, some decadently soft focaccia bread, as well as made-to-order pasta dishes, all of which are complimentary. In the evenings, it turns into a fine dining Italian specialty restaurant, which is available at an additional charge. After eating, head midship, where you'll find Carnival's Seaside Theater, which offers elevated pool deck seating where you can watch evening movies. During the day, this is the perfect spot to hang out and people watch, while adventurous spirits zip down the ship's 2 water slides and little ones play at the Carnival Waterworks, a splash area. But for those passengers wanting a little more physical activity, head on up to Deck 11, where you'll find the ship's well-equipped fitness center and studio, offering fitness classes, personal training, free weights, cardio equipment, and several different weight machines. You'll have everything you need to work off those calories from that chocolate extravaganza you indulged in earlier in the day. After that workout, it's time for a well-deserved visit to the ship's thermal spa. Relax in one of the shower's soothing chromo and aromatherapy experiences. Admire the distant vistas while zoning out on one of the heated loungers. Or indulge in the steam room and follow that up with a meditative experience in the Himalayan salt room. Guests staying in the Cloud9 spa cabins on decks 10 and 11 are provided complimentary access to the thermal spa throughout the sailing. Or you can simply purchase a thermal spa pass if you're staying elsewhere. Another way to treat yourself is to schedule a facial or massage at the Cloud9 spa. From hot stone massages to soothing facials, you'll find a variety of treatments to help you de-stress and unwind. Radiance also offers a full-service hair salon, along with manicures and pedicures, so you can show up to that special photo shoot in tip-top shape. If pampering's not really your style, head to Deck 11 Aft, where you can get your adrenaline pumping at the Sports Square. Challenge your fear of heights at the ropes course, or join some others on the sports court for a pickup game of basketball or pickleball. There's also a jogging track, which I tend to use more as a strolling track, and plenty of ways to have a little friendly competition. Or bring out your inner Tiger Woods on Deck 12, the Sun Deck, and enter the hole-in-one competition at the ship's mini putt golf course, which is snuggled around the ship's signature smokestack. Both the yin and the yang can be found on Deck 12 Forward, which hosts the adults-only Serenity relaxation area, which spans 2 decks. As well as the ship's various lively kids clubs. Here, kids will find lots of opportunities to get their wiggles out. get a little video game screen time in, or simply connect with other kids their age who share similar interests. And all the screaming you hear starts on deck 14, the highest deck on the ship, which is where guests start their heart-pounding journeys down the Twister and the Aqua tunnel water slides. So, is Carnival Radiance the right ship for you? Well, if you're seeking an unfussy cruise environment where you can just let loose, then Radiance is a great choice. Carnival's motto is fun for all for fun, and the crew members really do a great job of maintaining a fun atmosphere throughout the ship. The entertainment crew has a great sense of humor, and guests are quick to cheer each other on and strike up a conversation. But if you prefer a quiet, tranquil environment, then you might want to choose a different ship, because this one certainly gets busy and tends to attract a younger and livelier crowd. But you can minimize some of this by avoiding sailings during holiday breaks and other peak travel times. Even then, Carnival Radiance is going to be a high-energy ship. If you're looking for a ship with a luxurious, modern design, then you're probably going to want to choose a different ship, or probably even a different cruise line. Radiance is designed to feel bright and cheery, but there are a few, shall I say, interesting choices when it comes to her decor. Looking around deck 4 of the Radiance lobby reminded me a bit of going to the mall in the 1990s. And the turquoise sponge painting on some of the copper fixtures just further brought me back to 1992. The Liquid Lounge, the ship's main theater, is a bit of an eyesore. And the decorative mosaic tile work, best viewed when you're in the glass elevators, is a bit over the top. But I have to say, it grew on me by the end of the cruise. If you prefer simply prepared yet tasty foods, then Radiance is a solid choice. I enjoyed many of the dishes I had, but I also kept my expectations in line with what I had paid for my cruise. My food was consistently served hot, was plated attractively, and the ingredients seemed to work well together. It was well seasoned, and the taste was definitely there. Like on any cruise ship, there were a couple of misses. The prime rib on the buffet was beyond rare more than once, and a few of the soups and mains just didn't quite work. But more often than not, they did. When it came to complimentary dining options, I was impressed by the choices passengers have. Guy's Burger Bar can't be beat, and I really enjoyed the build-your-own breakfast burritos at the Blue Iguana. And Carnival sure knows how to make great cakes and cookies. Their simple butter cookie is beyond addicting. There's nothing wrong with eating 8 of them at one sitting, is there? If you're seeking an unstuffy, family-friendly environment and you enjoy cruising with a diverse group of people of all ages and backgrounds, then Carnival Radiance will be right up your alley. From its ropes course, water slides, and kids clubs, to its Dr. Seuss-themed brunches and other kid-friendly events, most kids will be going non-stop from morning till bedtime. Adults can share a body laugh at the comedy show, egg each other on during the beer pong competition, or give a rousing cheer as someone belts their heart out at the karaoke show. Carnival really strives to make their activities fun and inclusive. If cabin comfort is important to you, I think you'll like Carnival Radiance cabins. Sleeping in my bed was like sleeping on a cloud. There was plenty of storage space in our cabin, and our balcony was spacious enough for 2 people to relax on without feeling crammed in. Sure, there aren't any luxurious fixtures and high-end touches, But I was surprised at just how comfortable our cabin was, given what we had paid for our cruise. If having a lot of entertainment options and Broadway-style production shows are important to you, you're probably not going to enjoy sailing on Carnival Radiance. Evening entertainment relies heavily on comedy shows, dance parties, and game show-like activities. I was not impressed with the performances I watched in the ship's main theater, Liquid Lounge, but to each his own. A number of people were complimentary about some of the shows. Just know that you're not going to get the same level of production as you might see on, say, Norwegian or Royal Caribbean cruise lines. But then again, you're probably not paying the same cruise fares either. If you're a casino fan, you're going to like Carnival Radiance's expansive casino space. There's pretty much something here to meet the needs of every gambler. There were a lot more table games than you typically find on many cruise ships, as well as a wide variety of slots. And while I was not a winner on this cruise, I still had a lot of fun. So, would I travel on Carnival Radiance again? Yeah, I would. It was a fun cruise at a great price. Now, I have another question for you. What ship should I choose for my next Carnival cruise? Leave a suggestion in the comments below. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you can join me again soon in one of these videos. Until then, here's hoping that your next adventure is just around the corner.